In this video, we're going to look at two-step equations. Two-step equations are exactly like one-step equations, except they have two steps. And the goal of a two-step equation is the same as a one-step equation, which is to isolate the variable. In this case, we need to isolate x. And what we're going to do is we're going to work toward isolating x. So we start off with having 3x added to 2 equaling 11. And the first thing I'm going to do in order to get that variable isolated is to remove this 2. How am I going to do that? I am going to subtract. I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. Okay. So I'm going to bring down my 3x. Remember, lots of ways to think about this. Plus 2 minus 2, combining two terms. Either way, they become 0. And I'm just left with 3x by itself on the left side. On this side, I have 11 minus 2, which equals 9. Okay, now I have 3x equals 9. So I did one step. My first step was subtraction. My second step is division. I'm going to rewrite the problem so we can see where we are going to. Okay, so I have 3x equals 9. Now I need to isolate my variable. How am I going to do that? I'm going to divide both sides by 3. And of course, my 3's are going to simplify, and I'm going to have x equals 3. So that's my answer. Once again, remember, you're solving equations, box those answers. All right. Let's take another look at a type of two-step equation. Once again, in this case, we're going to be subtracting and then multiplying, right? We have x over 3 plus 1.5 equals 2.75. And remember, our goal is to isolate that variable. So let's start. Our first step is subtracting 1.5 from both sides. And you know what? I'm going to put a 0 in here just so I don't screw it up, quite honestly. All right, there we go. And of course, these will go away, and I end up with x over 3 equals the difference between 2.75 and 1.5 is, of course, 1.25. All right, now I've got x over 3 equals 1.25. I've got a one-step equation. Remember, if the variable is the numerator, we need to multiply both sides by the denominator, in this case 3. So, you know what? I'm going to just write 3 over 1 here to start. So I leave myself enough room for a change, and that's going to equal 1.25 multiplied by 3. All right. Once again, these will simplify. I'm just going to use my red pen here. This 3 and this 3, which would leave me x over 1, which is, of course, is the same as x. Now I'm going to multiply 1.25 by 3, which would give me x equals 3.75. All right, these are two examples of two-step equations.